Morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm just recording this quick video to explain a term that you hear bandied around quite a lot when you learn React, and that term is declarative programming. And as you can see on this website, this article by Will Johnson here, WTF is declarative programming in React, and that's the question I was asking myself. And I think this is a really good illustration of what declarative programming is, and it really illustrates the point well. So I just thought I'd share it quickly and go through it. So there's declarative and imperative programming languages, and the analogy Will uses in this article, there we go. He uses the analogy he uses to paint is painting and decorating, and I thought it was really good. It stuck with me. If you had wood stained doors and trim in your house and you wanted them painted white to look more modern, you would tell the pair it paints declaratively, I want the doors and trim bright, white, and smooth. You wouldn't tell them, you wouldn't tell them how to stand with 180 grit sandpaper, use a filbert brush, whatever the hell that is. Wire brush, I think this is American. Do 5 cone, do an undercoat with I don't know, an acrylic paint. Use a top coat with an emulsion. Then use an oil-based paint. Want 37 dry minutes time. Then put another coat on. You get the idea, don't you? All you want in the end is a bright white and smooth finish, and that's what React does. It takes away. You just tell it what you want it to look like, and it does it. To use an example, let's look at the way the other version, or I guess the opposite of declarative programming is imperative, where you have to go through every single minute step. And this is an example of just putting a hello world on a page using the imperative way, which is using traditional JavaScript. And I have done these sort of things in the past, where look at all these steps that you've got to go through. What a ball ache, eh? So you've got to create a reference to the root element in the HTML document with getElementById. Then you've got to create a new element, a section element, to wrap the hello world in. That's in a container variable. And you've got to create another variable. We don't have to do that bit. That's not technically correct. You really only have to do that. I think he's just illustrating how laborious the process could be. Next up, you've got to create your h1 variable there. So he's creating another element. Next, you're adding a new ID to the container, which is there. After that, you're running the inner text method and adding welcome to our page inner text on within the h1. Then, see this is going, can't you? So you've got that h1 now, and it's got some text in it. The hello world, or welcome to our page in this case. Then you're appending that value to the container there, to the container element with that. And then you're appending the container element to the root ID just to get that. Just to get that. What a palaver, eh? Let's do the same thing declaratively in React. So you've got your root ID, so that's in your HTML file. You're using the react.dom method to render this component, the title component, which is being created there within the root. And look how easy that is. So you just actually write in normal HTML pretty much within this function within this React component. And look how much easier that is. And as it says there, as your app gets bigger with more DOM elements being created, this can be really hard to maintain. So yeah, imagine having to write this every time and maintaining it and changing it. So if you wanted to change the ID, you've got to go all the way back in there. If you wanted to change the structure, to add new elements, add children, what a ball ache, eh? The React version shows that target component will show a section, blah, 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 blah. React, this is a good bit. React abstracts away all the nuts and bolts of how the DOM renders these elements. In your code, you tell your page, look like this, and you'll get the result. Now, me coming from just a pure, I don't know, HTML, CSS, SAS front-end developer kind of standpoint with a bit of JavaScript skills, this is a lot easier for me to understand. Look how much cleaner it is compared to writing all that. Why is this good for React devs? Declarative programming is much easier to read and figure out what is going on in your code, which I've just said. Makes it easy to debug and easy for the devs to work on. And you can spend more time creating beautiful, reusable components for your users. That, folks, is why declarative programming is good, and that's what it is. Stay tuned for more fascinating content on... Just looking for my stop button. This was not seamless. I've got it on the stream deck. Yeah, stay tuned for more fascinating React comments. Content. See you in a bit.